Hi, my name is Lauren O'Connell and welcome to my ingredients analysis, application demonstration, and wear test of the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you hit that notification bell so you never miss any of my upcoming videos. My videos help you to become a more informed consumer because I dive deep into the ingredients going into our cosmetics, skincare, hair care, and dental products using evidence-based research. You should absolutely know the ingredients going into your personal care products, and I'm here to help you do just that. If you're not interested in the ingredients, feel free to skip ahead. I have timestamps in my description box below, as well as clickable timestamps pinned as the first comment in this video. So let's now get into these ingredients. The Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint contains 3 different sunscreens. The octinoxy and the titanium dioxide are both mineral sunscreens. That means that these sunscreens just sit on the skin, they're not absorbed into the skin, and they reflect UV rays. The oxysilate is a chemical sunscreen. This sunscreen is absorbed into the skin, and as UV rays are absorbed into the skin, a chemical reaction occurs. The UV rays are converted into heat, and then the heat leaves the skin. This skin tint contains many different emollients. Emollients are going to make our skin feel very soft and smooth and give it a very supple-like quality. We have glycerin, which is a super hydrator and a humectant, and humectants are water-binding molecules. They grab onto water on the surface of the skin and even in the air, and they're going to hold it into the skin, giving us a temporary plumped-up effect. There's also sodium hyaluronic in this formula. That is a smaller version of hyaluronic acid, and remember, this is called the hyaluronic skin tint. And hyaluronic acid is also a humectant. It binds to water and it can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water. Hyaluronic acid is a wonderful anti-aging ingredient, and it's something that I use every single day. Butylene glycol is another humectant in this formula, and this is also a solvent. That means it's going to dissolve other ingredients within the formula to make the skin tint very uniform and consistent and to enhance spreadability. The hyaluronic skin tint also contains cottonseed oil. This oil is packed with vitamin E, which is an antioxidant that's responsible for helping to smooth out those fine lines and wrinkles we may have on our skin, and it also is full of fatty acids. The stratum corneum is the outermost layer of our skin, and if you think of it in terms of bricks and mortar, the bricks are the skin cells and the mortar is this lipid matrix. It's full of fatty acids, ceramides, and cholesterol. In our mid-20s, that lipid matrix starts to deplete, and we need to do as much as we can to replenish it. An ingredient that contains fatty acids are going to put that right back into that lipid matrix, enhancing our skin's suppleness and youthfulness. This formula also contains many different silicones. Silicones form this lattice-like structure on the skin, and they're going to allow nutrients and oxygen to pass through, but not water molecules. So it's going to decrease transepidermal water loss, which means that the moisture that's in our skin is going to stay there. I do want to point out that the PEG 10 dimethicone is a very flexible silicone, and this is going to help the formula just move with our skin instead of being stiff on our face. Silicones are very silky, smooth, and they're going to enhance the spreadability of the formula on our skin. Goji fruit extract is a very skin softening ingredient, and stearic acid is another fatty acid. This ingredient also works as a thickener. It's going to add some bulk to the formula as well as a binder. It's going to hold all the ingredients within the formula together. Aside from the stearic acid, we do have several other thickeners within this formula. I do want to point out that the polyglycerol 3 polyricin oleate is also a surfactant. This is a surface active agent. It reduces surface tension within the skin tint, and it keeps the other ingredients within the formula from separating. There are quite a few opacifying agents within the skin tint. Opacifying agents make the product more opaque. That means less clear, less translucent. Mica is in this formula, and mica is a natural mineral with a lot of sparkle and shine, and it's going to lend a beautiful sheen to the skin tint. We also have calcium carbonate. This ingredient not only functions as an opacifying agent, but also a buffer, so it's going to help to stabilize the pH of the formula. Finally, we also have quartz, and quartz has a brightening effect, so I'm assuming that this foundation is going to really enhance my skin's luminosity. We previously covered butylene glycol in the emollient section, and I did mention that it's also a solvent. We have two other solvents within this formula, and solvents help to dissolve other ingredients within the formula to make the formula more evenly distributed and more spreadable. They help to decrease the viscosity of the formula. We also have two texture enhancers, and these are going to improve the sensory experience of the skin tint. Finally, we have a few different preservatives that I see quite often in so many of the cosmetics and skincare products I review. That wraps up the ingredients analysis of the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed learning about the different ingredients in this formula, and comment down below and let me know if there's any foundations you would like me to review in the future. Now let's move into product packaging. The Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint comes in this dark maroon box, and the aesthetic is very similar to all other Hourglass products. This is 1 fluid ounce, which is 30 milliliters, and this product retails for $55 US. Here in Dubai, this is on sale for 299 dirhams, which comes out to $81.97. So there is a large price difference. On the back side of the packaging, we can see the ingredients label, and there is the drug facts, and it goes into active ingredients, uses, warnings, directions. Now, I do have a whole video on how to read cosmetics and skincare ingredients labels, and I talk about why in products that contain sunscreens, we have to have the drug facts along with other information about the product. Check that video out if you want to learn a little bit more about that. I do want to point out that the shade I'm using today is Shell. When I take out the skin tint, I see that it comes in this beautiful, very luxurious looking tube, and the color of it is this pale gold. The top of it is this almost this maroonish chrome type look. To me, this looks just very expensive. When I unscrew the tube, I see that the formula is dispensed in this little plastic nozzle, and I'm now going to put a little bit onto my hand. It comes out quite thick, and I detect a very light sunscreen scent. Based on the thickness of this formula, I can tell right away that a little bit is going to go very far, so I really don't need to go over the top with the application. It does feel very creamy, and this feels like something that would be a treat for my dry skin. The instructions say to apply this with either your fingers or a foundation brush. I personally love to just use my Beauty Blender sponge, so I'm going to go right ahead with my sponge and now apply this product to my face. I do want to point out I have no makeup on. I've done this entire video so far with nothing on my face except my morning skincare. So here is the hyaluronic skin tint on the right side of my face. The left side of my face still contains no makeup. So here is my skin with the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint. It went on very easily, and I didn't feel like I had to work to get the formula to cover my skin. I was surprised by how light it went on. It did seem to be a bit thick when I initially put it on my hand, but when I applied it with the Beauty Blender sponge, it just seemed like a very light layer. So it just looks like my skin, but better. This is definitely a buildable type of face product. And if I put another layer of this foundation on, I would definitely have more of a full coverage look. I'm now going to let this just sit on my skin for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to apply the rest of my makeup. I'll check back in with you, let you know what that experience was like, how my makeup is looking, and anything else that comes to mind. And I just put on the rest of my makeup. I did realize as I was putting on my makeup that I forgot to mention earlier that I did not have any primer on my face. Typically, I do use a foundation primer underneath my foundation. However, I didn't do it for this video or any of my foundation videos because I don't want it to influence the performance of the foundation I'm trying on. I want to have just a review of the foundation by itself. I want to say that when I was putting on my makeup, everything went on so smoothly, so nicely, and the foundation right now just feels great on my skin. I'm going to now go about my day. I will check back in with you later on and we'll see how the foundation is looking, how it's been wearing on my skin. I'll share my thoughts on the foundation with you and whether I think it's worth purchasing or not. It's been a while since I saw you last, and I wanted to check back in with you and share how the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint has been wearing on my skin. I have not touched up my makeup at all, and to be honest, I have not even touched my face. Now, I was just looking in the mirror and I am so happy to share with you that the foundation has not migrated and settled into those pesky fine lines I have underneath my eyes. So many times when I'm reviewing foundations and I look in that under eye area, I can just see this tiny line of foundation in the middle of each fine line, and it drives me crazy. Keep in mind, I always set my foundation with powder. So that has not happened with this foundation, and I am overjoyed. Also, I think in general, my skin just looks very fresh. It looks very luminescent. It has a nice glow to it. It looks dewy, but not too much to the point where it's starting to look oily. And it just looks very healthy and natural. I am 37 years old and I have dry skin. Now, getting into my dry skin, I prepped my face as normal before I put on a foundation. However, I did not use a primer. Typically, I do day to day, but I don't use primers for my videos because not everyone uses a primer, and I don't want it to affect the results of my review with the foundation. My skin right now is feeling slightly dry on the cheeks and my chin. That tells me I did not prep my skin enough before this review, and I think I really could have used a primer with this foundation. I do have the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, which I will be doing an ingredients analysis and a review on coming up soon, and I will use the Hourglass Skin Tint on top so we can see how the foundation works when it's used with a primer. But for now, I'm starting to feel that my skin is just getting that slightly tight feeling, and I know that as the day were to go on and into night, it would get more so to the point where I would have to refresh my skin with some sort of hydrating face mist. Overall, I think that this is a great foundation. I love how it looks on my skin. It is very expensive, so that's something to keep in mind. And if you're on the fence about it, but it's a little bit out of your budget, don't worry, because I have so many more foundations in queue for review, including drugstore foundations, and I'm sure we'll find something within your price point. If this foundation is in your budget, I suggest you at least get a sample of it and try it out. I think it just looks beautiful and it's definitely mature skin friendly. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Subscribe now to Lauren O'Connell Beauty TV, and let's navigate together through the world of beauty.